I'm gonna be honest with you. This is no analysis video. This ain't one of those videos. Um, quite frankly, I turned the game off sometime I think with 4 minutes to go or 5 minutes to go in the game. It was either Herter or Gallinari hit another three, and I think the Bucks were down by 25, and I was just disgusted. Okay, I was just disgusted at so many different things. I didn't watch the game. I don't know how many points, who had what. All I know is the Bucks got fucking humiliated, And of course, the 800-pound elephant in the room is the status of Giannis Antetokounmpo. Um, he suffered a very gruesome looking injury. Maybe it looked worse than what it was, but his leg bent in an unnatural way. He could have easily have broken his leg in a gruesome way. It appears to be a very high grade, I guess, hyperextension. Um, but even with those type of injuries, you never know. Sometimes they look worse than what they really are, but then sometimes you get actual ligament and tendon damage that requires surgery. So I don't know what his status is. He could be out for a game. He could be out for the playoffs, and essentially that would be it for the Milwaukee Bucks. Um, I want to say this though: even if Giannis hadn't got hurt, I still think the Bucks would have lost by a considerable margin, and that goes all the way back to coaching. Um, I hate Mike Budenholzer. As bad as a coach as Tyronn Lue can be, and I don't know what the fuck Nick Wright talking about saying he's a great coach. Nick Wright, you don't know what the fuck you talking about, dude. If you think Tyronn Lue is a great coach, you're out of your motherfucking mind. But anyway, as bad as Tyronn Lue can be, Mike Budenholzer is on another level when it comes to anemic coaching. The decisions that he makes are baffling even to a person who's a casual observer. For instance, when Giannis is out, right? When Giannis suffers that injury, ain't no more breaks for Chris Middleton. Ain't no more breaks for him. Why is he sitting on the bench in a critical juncture when the Bucks are down by 12, 13? That's like one of those critical moments where if you go on a run, you can cut it to 6 or 7, you're back in the game. But if you have no scoring, you have nobody that's consistently stepping up. The league can easily swell up to 20, and now you're blown out. And now it's a Herculean task to get back into the game. He does dumb shit like that. You have somebody who's rolling in the game, just absolutely rolling, and then take him out. Well, I'm slaughtered to have such and such play, even though I know he's 0 for 8 from the floor and he's getting killed on the pick and roll. But I'm going to put him back in the game because, according to my system, he has to play. Like, this dude, he needs to get the fuck up out of here, man. He's a great regular season coach. He's the same coach that coached the Hawks to 60 wins back in 2000 and I think 15. But when it comes to the playoffs and it comes to making adjustments and the chess moves and all that, he's fucking retarded, man. He's horrible. He's fucking horrible. And I don't know why they won't call him out on his bullshit. I'm sick of him. He cost us game one. And even with the injury, they didn't have fucking Trae Young. And we still got blown out. Why does he keep having Chris Middleton bring the ball up like he's fucking Bob Cousy? Why are we not maximizing Drew Holiday? You might as well have kept Eric fucking Bledsoe. And yeah, I did tease and say Oscar goes to Trae Young. Okay, yeah, okay. That was me being funny and stupid. I know he has an injury, and shout out to Trae Young for doing what a superstar is supposed to do: be on the bench and cheer his fucking team on. See, Trae Young, I think, kind of probably did help his team with his energy. You see what I'm saying? He went on the court and he inspired his fucking teammates. Because I still think they would have beat him without with Giannis in the game. That's a fucking shame. And shout out to Giannis for going back out there when he saw he could put weight on his leg. He went back in the room, out, in the back, and probably went to get his leg evaluated to see what he could do. See, it wasn't a go, but he went back out there and sat with his team. Every superstar has done that. No matter how far back you go, to the George Mikens and the Joe Folks, they sat with their fucking team. Y'all disgust me. Y'all keep making excuses for this fucking diva. Back in the day, a general charged with he was with his troops. Not this sissy shit today where a general or the supposed leaders, you know what I'm saying, they're in the concentration room and all the action is done by the no. Back in the day, a general fought with his troops. And he was just as susceptible to getting killed as his troops. You ever heard of Custer in his last stand? You know what I'm saying? I know that's a white dude shit, but still. Even the African warriors, they fought with their troops. Okay, better example. The African warriors, they fight with their troops. Not sitting up on top of a fucking hill, looking down the action. Well, if there's any survivors, I'll limp down there and give them some word of encouragement. I went to there's a lull in the action, so I'm safe. Man, fuck you, man. And let me say this too. To the Nets fans or the Kyrie Irving fans who were going around last night celebrating Giannis's injury, saying that it's retribution for Kyrie getting hurt, when Giannis went up for the rebound. Let me tell you something. Giannis did not intentionally do that. Basketball is still a contact sport. You didn't see me or anybody else. Not well. I tell you what. Anybody that did do this, fuck you. This was not Clint Capella's fault. It happens when you go airborne and come back down. If you land awkwardly, it can happen. Unfortunately, we've seen this with Gordon Hayward. We've seen this with Paul George. We've seen this with Kyrie now with Giannis. When you go up in the air and come back down awkwardly, Sid Vicious years ago in WCW, when he was not a guy that was accustomed to jumping off the turnbuckle and doing all this shit, but they forced him to do that shit, and look what happened. He shattered his fucking leg. It happens, unfortunately. But you motherfuckers that's celebrating Giannis getting hurt, celebrating, but yet some of you same motherfuckers was going at Big Sloppy, Big Baby, which you should have. But how that make y'all any better? That don't make y'all any better than Big Stinky or Big Stanky. How does it make y'all any better? This nigga going around celebrating that Kyrie got hurt. Oh, that's karma for stepping on Lucky. Well, y'all saying, well, that's karma for unintentionally clipping up Kyrie. What? So a Clint could probably get hurt. Let's say they go to the finals. That's karma? What the fuck is wrong with you motherfuckers, man? Y'all wishing injuries on people? See, this is why Kevin Durant got so much praise. Because Kyrie went down, because James Harden was hurt, he had that team on the brink of advancing. He deserves all the praise that he got for his performances in those series. So fuck Scottie Pippen on that note. But this could be it, man. It could be it for the Bucks, man. It's just the Bucks. Just maybe it's a cursed thing, man. It's a situation where maybe he's just gonna have the luck of a Patrick Ewing. Sometimes it's just not in the cards. That's why I always say winning a championship is not as easy as some people make it out to be. Sometimes a little bit of luck is involved because you're one uh, misplanted, landing away from a franchise-altering injury. What would have happened if Bernard King didn't tear apart his knee in that game? I think it was against the Kings in 1985. What would have happened? Now, some would say, well, maybe, I don't think that would have really had an effect on the lottery because most people say shit was rigged. So they still would have got Ewing. What would happen if you had Bernard King and Patrick Ewing playing with each other? Maybe we're having a different conversation about Patrick Ewing's career. King was only, at the time, 29, 30 years old, I think. So he had a lot more years left in the tank. He was playing at a high level, averaging 33 points a game that year. What would happen if, this is an injury, but what would happen if Magic didn't get sick? Could the Lakers have squeezed out one more title in the Magic Johnson era? I think they could have if they, made a big signing. Um, so all these things you have to you worry, you consider, man. Um, I know this is going to sound minuscule and ridiculous, but you also have to wonder when it comes to the Minnesota Timberwolves, what could have happened if Malik Sealy never died? Now I know Malik Sealy wasn't a superstar, but Malik Sealy was that type of personality that you need on a playoff team. What could have happened if Malik Sealy was on that 2000 and what was it, 14 that made it to the conference finals? I mean, I know that sound like much, but sometimes guys like that can be the difference. I'm gonna tell you something. What I mean by sometimes these side or role players can make differences. Role players can make differences in series. You know what I'm saying? The Vernon Maxwells and the Robert Ory's can make differences. Kenny Smith made a difference in the '95 finals by hitting all those threes in game one and sending that game to overtime. Because if the Orlando Magic had won that game and Nick Anderson made his free throws, the trajectory of that franchise and Nick's career could have went a whole different way. That's why I included Nick's Malik Sealy in that. Um, but that's pretty much all I got to say, man. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully Giannis isn't as hurt as some people may speculate. But if he is, he had one hell of a year. And anybody that's slandering, Giannis and talking about he ain't shit, man, fuck you, man. Like seriously, like from the bottom of my ball sack, man, fuck you. You know, any motherfucker that sit there and celebrate an injury, you ain't shit, man. You got people out there right now, man. And I'm gonna do a Patreon about this. You know, you have this sweltering record heat, like this once in a thousand year heat that's killing. That was destroying people in the what was it? I think in the Pacific Northwest. 110 degrees in Oregon, 109 degrees in Washington, right? And you got these Trump supporters, man. These extreme motherfuckers talking about they deserve that shit because they supported Black Lives Matter. They deserve that because um, they sided with the protesters. If you voted blue, you deserve to die. Like, what the fuck is wrong with these people, man? In the same way, on the other end of it, oh well, Texas deserves to get hurricanes. Florida deserves to get hurricanes. They voted for Trump. Are you that fucking bitter, bro? Are you motherfuckers that man? Whatever, man. Disgusting, man.